Hey everyone. I've recently just uploaded my top 10 best movies of 2022 where I speak about my favourite films of the year. And now this will be actually the first time I've ever actually done a worst of movie list. Now, when it comes to movies, I seem to I don't know, I find it really hard to genuinely dislike or even hate a movie. I mean, there are very few movies out there that I would consider to be, atrocious or like really bad. Though, and it's not like that. The three movies on this list are like notoriously bad or terrible. I just wanted to maybe offer some criticism about the three movies that I watched that I liked least this year. I do try and find positives out of most stuff that I see, but every now and then something comes along where I'm just like, yeah, there's something not right with this movie, and I feel like I should explain why the movie didn't sit right with me, or something about it was just off, and something that maybe could be changed or improved upon. So I will speak about the top three movies that I did feel like were kind of some kind of stinkers of 2022. But without further ado, I'll just get right into it. Okay, so before I start counting down my top three, I'll just quickly put out of the way. Morbius is not going to be on this list simply because I have not seen it. I've heard a lot of things about Morbius, about how it's extremely overrated, that it's overrated, underrated, that it's basically this nothing movie about a Marvel character that nobody really wanted to see. I've heard how it's cheesy, that it's bad, that people saying there's no reason to see it. I've heard so many things about it that I've just decided just to skip it. I'll watch it eventually. I never really had any interest in seeing Morbius, though I'll probably will review it later on to see what I think about it, but overall, I'm not going to talk about it because I haven't seen it. So coming up at our number 3 is Halloween Ends, which is supposedly, from what I saw, is going to be the very final film in the Halloween franchise, which has been going all the way since 1978. So I wasn't a real big fan of Halloween Kills either. I did really like the 2018 movie, the best out of this recent trilogy. And I think the main reason that I didn't like Halloween Ends really that much is because, well, Michael Myers really wasn't in it at all until the very end. Basically, the entire gist of this movie is that he's kind of controlling this puppet who is played by actor like Rowan something, I keep on forgetting, but I think his name was Corin or Corey, and basically he's like this this innocent guy who was, from what I thought anyway, was possessed by Michael, and killed this kid that he was babysitting in the opening of the movie. And the more that he gets involved with Michael, the more Michael's evil corrupts his mind, and he eventually becomes into another evil murderer, like a carbon copy of Michael. And it's kind of sad to see him descend that way in the movie, of him turning into a cold-blooded murderer, but it kind of shows you why it's happening. I guess one criticism I have with Michael Myers himself is that he's basically a very simple villain. He doesn't really have that much depth apart from that he's just a blood-hungry psychopath who loves to terrorize his victims in the most horrible ways. I mean, there are some really good movie psychopaths that really show you why they are the way they are, and can make you understand what caused their minds to become so broken. But Michael is not like that. He's just the bad serial killer out for blood for everybody that he comes across. And I guess, and it's good that we do have some villains like that, because there are some villains in movies that you don't want to think about. You just want to see him do evil shit to people, and that's exactly what Michael from Halloween does. Though I did have a few problems with this movie. I do feel like it could have been. There's a few things that, like the story overall, Michael should have been in it more for the final Halloween movie. If this was just another Halloween movie and not the very last one, maybe I would maybe cut it a bit more slack. But this is supposed to be the last Halloween movie ever. It should have been an absolute, belter of a Michael kill fest, basically. Just Michael going as hard as the character possibly can to send off this franchise, and it kind of wasn't that. Overall, I didn't hate this movie. I didn't think it was terrible. There were good things about it. I think the following two are really the ones that I really want to talk about more. So let's get on to those ones. So at number 2, and as much as it pains for me to say it, was Lightyear, the newest film by Pixar. I was not impressed with this movie at all, really. I felt like it was such a very safe Disney movie, very predictable. Well, I mean, it was pretty unpredictable, but it just didn't really do that much for me for Buzz Lightyear as a character. This rendition of Buzz Lightyear as is nothing like I know it's not supposed to be Toy Story, but the character of Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story is based off the lore of Buzz Lightyear, which has been a bit touched upon. There was a 2000 animated movie about him. Apparently there was this cartoon about them. Apparently the original Toy Story was going to have like an intro, like introducing, but it didn't. That got scrapped. But yeah, I mean, I guess I was kind of basically wanting the movie to be kind of like a Disney version of like Interstellar. And it was in like a few ways. I mean, they did experiment with time dilation, which I have to say, is pretty clever, but I just feel like this movie only went maybe like 40 or 50% of what it could potentially have been. It felt like a bit of a missed opportunity for me. It felt like Pixar wasn't really pushing the creative juices hard enough on this one. And overall, I found it to be quite forgettable, quite boring, and nothing that much about it that I found to be interesting or didn't really make me feel that much emotion, which is really saying something from a Pixar movie. Overall, it's kind of sad to think that my least favourite animated film of the year is from the one and only Pixar. But hopefully Pixar will pick up their game a bit. I'm not too sure what to think about Elemental at this stage, but it does look like it could be pretty good. Overall, this movie was like nothing compared to what I thought Soul was back in 2020, and overall I just thought it was a crushing disappointment. Alright, so now we are at number 1. So what is my least favourite movie of 2022? Well, that title goes to Black Adam, starring Dwayne Johnson. I thought this movie was really bad. This is, without a doubt, the worst DCEU movie by far. I might actually even be worse than Wonder Woman 1984. And for one thing, it is unbelievably cheesy. It is really, really campy, and there is nothing really about this movie that is smart or well written or even well acted. This is definitely the worst performance I've ever seen Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in. He usually has his charisma and is very it's quite funny. He's quite clever, but in this movie he is so dull and so one-dimensional, and so there is no comedy in this guy whatsoever. And even other DC villains or even some Marvel villains, they are still cleverly written villains. And even though Black Adam, he's not a villain, he's an anti-hero, but he's just so robotic in this movie, and I tried to get interested in him as a character, and I just couldn't. He's just like, oh, I'm the hero that no one deserves, or like, I don't deserve to be a hero, and he's always speaking in that monotone voice, and it really got on my nerves. Overall, there's this character in this movie, it's called like Smash Adam or something, or like Atomic Smash, and his mask looks exactly like Deadpool's mask. Like, it's a blue Deadpool mask. I know he's not like Deadpool. He gets bigger and smaller, kind of like Ant-Man in a way. But that's like his mask is a blatant copy of Deadpool. And he was a extremely forgettable character. I didn't even like Pierce Brosnan in this movie. And like, I loved him as James Bond, and I've loved him in like previous movies, but he was also very dull and flat in this movie. And like, I'm pretty sure that like Dwayne Johnson and like Pierce Brosnan were trying to deliver good performances, but I think the script really was that poor. And I do really feel like there is a big problem with DC movies at the moment. I did like the Batman. I thought that was a good superhero movie. Also, the Batman was almost entirely humorless, but I'll let it slide. It is a Batman movie coming off the all the previous Dark Knight movies. So, but this movie, it did nothing for me. It didn't make me feel anything. I didn't think about it when it was over. I just thought it just fell completely flat, and definitely the worst movie of the year. I mean, if Zack Snyder's Justice League cut is an 8 out of 10, and Batman v Superman is a 6 out of 10, this movie would be like a 2, possibly even a 3. It is really that bad, in my opinion. So, yeah, I didn't like this movie at all. It's called Black Adam, but I call it Whack Adam. Whack Adam. So there you have it. That's the my opinion, the top 3 stinkiest movies of 2022. So I really do hope DC will pick up their game and actually make some interesting movies. I mean, like I thought Shazam was fine, but this was like Black Adam was like Shazam, but without any of the fun. That's basically what Black Adam is. So it'll be interesting to see how DC moves forward from this, if they will continue their universe, or they will just go back to standalone movies, which is probably maybe for the best. I don't know. I don't know what DC is going to do at the moment. But anyway, that's my thoughts and opinions and ramblings. So once again, thank you for supporting the channel, and take care and have an incredible and happy 2023. Alright, take it easy, guys.